Hi everybody, welcome back to the nest. It's Viper here. Young Grasshopper, we did watch your live stream today. That was just probably about an hour and a half ago. You'll have to excuse my explosion of laughter if I just suddenly burst because our Alexa app decided to tell us something that came across as a cough. That was not...
I don't know that one.
Anywhere close to what we were talking about. So, on that is spring of 1937. Destroyer of Worlds has decided to join us today, and we're going to get to the board. Just a heads up, we are planning on being in Canada in 2020, and yes, we will definitely be there, board in hand and ready to play with you guys. So I'm going to see if I can get her to go. Go to the board. First up, we've got Germany. They leased a tank to nationalist Spain and placed it here in Leon, Castile. And then we moved our subs to the Atlantic, paid off the debt on the battleship, and we purchased an air transport that got placed in Stettin. On to nationalist Spain, they took Barcelona, and they had a successful recruitment role and placed that infantry in Leon, Castile as well. In Russia, first of all, Russia, this was supposed to have been announced last round. I'll push these in a little bit so we can see. Japan has given Russia the option to open the rails so that they can start lend-leasing to CCP China. And in that, they did lend-lease $1 to, CCP China, so that they were able to pick up an infantry and put them into Communist China. On the other side, they leased an infantry to Republican Spain, was placed in Murcia, Valencia. And there was a border skirmish that Russia lost a cavalry in Manchuria, and then there was a light tank that was placed in Leningrad. Republican Spain is pulling back most of its forces to Murcia, Valencia to protect the port, because that's the only port they have open to still receive lend-leasing from Russia. And next page. Hey, guess what, guys? I can read my notes today. Japan. Japan bought 2 more Marines, and they paid 7 to pay off, put on their debt of the carrier. And we just kind of moved some ships around. You guys notice that when I play as Japan, I don't coddle myself around the main island. There's a reason for that, and we'll get to that soon. But if you go back to the beginning of our series, you'll notice that I didn't coddle around the island then either. So we'll be getting into that a lot as the game moves on. In Manchuria, there was another border skirmish with the Mongolian Kurlan, and they took it. One of the few territories they can go up against the Mongolians without starting a war in Mongolia. They bought another Kwangtung army, and so there's 3 of the 4 available are now on the board. We'll stay over here on this side so we can do Pac Brits. And basically we're just having the Burma forces really build up here. Got some ships moving into Africa, and then Anzac has their transport here with a motorized and an artillery, and they're heading towards Africa. As far as the Euro Brits, still building in South Africa. The light carrier went up to stage 2. They are moving more ships towards the Mediterranean, and that's pretty much it for them. Our big block. I love our big blocks. In France, France paid up their battleship to stage 3, and they reinforced Bracardia in Paris. So we've got that going on. There's their block there. And Italy leased an infantry to National Spain, which was also placed in Leon, Castile. So they've got themselves a nice big thing going on up in here. And they paid the rest of their money on the debt of their battleship, and they moved their mountain infantry from Sicily to Turin, or northern Italy. America, and they're whopping $6 because it's the end of the Depression and they're just not involved. They placed it on the carrier debt. And then KMT China picked up a mountain infantry and militia, and they are moving west away from the coast. So that's it. There's not a lot going on right now. Make sure I'm not stepping on the cat. or the dog, because the dog's passed out over here on the floor too. So, not a lot going on right now. We're coming back with the fall of 1937 here very shortly. We're going to get a few good rounds coming in. As January gets closer, I will run more and more out of time to be able to play, so I'm going to try to get World War II done at least before Christmas. So we all know it's a really long game. We all know a lot of people don't like the really long games, but when you can tag team the games like we do, they go a lot faster. So we'll be back now with fall of 1937. Thanks for joining us right here on The Nest. We'll see you soon. Hey everybody, welcome back to The Nest. It's 1937 and it is the fall in Germany. We don't have a lot going on, so we've just leased another tank to Nationalist Spain. Battleship went up to stage 3 and there was a medium bomber placed in Stettin. Nationalist Spain attacked Extremadura and took it. And then Republican Spain moved their air force from Madrid to Murcia, Valencia. Russia leased an infantry to Republican Spain and $1 to CCP China. They built a light tank and they had a border skirmish in North Manchuria, and they lost an infantry and Manchuria lost a militia. CCP bought an infantry and attacked KMT Sichuan with 1 wounded, 1 lost, and they retreated back to Communist China. Big news on the war front my Axis loves. Japan has opened up the war. Japan has declared war on China, and in this comes a lot of things. America begins dropping oil shipments and goes up 3 IPPs. Japan drops 1 because of that loss of the oil shipment. Euro Brits, Pac Brits, Anzac, France all go up 1 IPC apiece. KMT and CCP China both signed that ceasefire. Japan closes its rails for the Russian Lend-Leasing, and Russia and Japan signed a non-aggression pact. They attacked Henan, started off with a naval battle. It was successful, and then an amphibious assault was also successful. Japan took a hit on their marine, and it is wounded out on the hospital ship. So big things happening over there. The Pac Brits purchased an artillery and are still moving everything to Burma. And Anzac purchased an infantry, and their transport is currently moving and dropping people off in Egypt. The Euro Brits have 1 infantry they placed in South Africa. They put their light carrier over in London, and they paid off the debt on their cruiser. France moved their battleship up to stage 2. Italy leased an infantry to Nationalist Spain and paid $4 on the debt of their battleship. That leaves them 5. And America moved their carrier to stage 2 and held $2 back. And KMT picked up a mountaineer and a militia. So still not a lot going on, but Japan has waged war. So that is going to get a little bit more interesting as we start plucking away over here at the Japanese coast, or the Chinese coast, excuse me. And we'll see what we can do with that for now. We'll see you guys back here with 1938 in the spring. It'll be a new year.